Light bearers, this is your boy Lone Star, and I see you shining. I see you. Don't let nobody dim your light, man. So in today's video, I want to talk about choosing DMT over OCD. And anybody who has ever been diagnosed with OCD or demonstrates the characteristics of OCD, you may not have been diagnosed with it, but may have heard of somebody who was, or heard of the term, and may have asked yourself, do I battle with it? You know what I mean? Basically, OCD is just a compulsion disorder to where you need to do something, and if you don't submit to that compulsion, in your mind, you feel like everything's gonna just fall apart. And DMT is a chemical, a hormone that has been proven human beings can produce in their third eye, okay, once they unblock their chakras, okay? So one of the best ways to produce this hormone, this natural secretion in a human being, is to practice semen retention by retaining your seed and unblocking your first chakra, which is your root chakra, all right, by rising up out of that lower nature, this realm, and choosing a higher standard, all right, and start thinking with this head and not this head. You're raising your vibration, and as this sexual energy rises up on the inside of you, it's unlocking hormones on its way up. And the combination of these hormones, once it gets to the third eye, all right, produces what's called DMT. And you know, there are drugs out there that can give you a similar high, you know, psychedelics, and I ain't about that life. I don't advocate that you do that, although if you do, no judgment, each their own. However, I choose to be high on life. And if you go this route, you know, practicing Nofap, retaining your life force, unblocking your chakras, doing your shadow work, you can naturally produce DMT and be high on life, man. And when you're high on life and you're in a flow state, you can dominate that bully called OCD, because really all OCD is a bully. Think about it. Anybody who has ever dealt with it or seen somebody who deals with it, they're being bullied into that compulsion. And they're not in a flow state. They're actually rigid. They're being rigid with themselves and may even be rigid with other people, you know? So how do we break out of this? Well, let's go to the root of it. I mentioned how practicing semen retention, I believe, is the first step. It's the first step to dominating and overcoming OCD. Here's why. Really, what OCD is, again, is a compulsion disorder, all right? And what is a compulsion? It first was a habit, okay? So, and usually, these are habits that we've practiced in our lower nature. What are some examples of lower natured habits and compulsions that we as human beings may experience that are destructive? They're not profiting us anything. They're actually hurting us. Any addiction, really, you know, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, any drug, or even negative thought patterns that aren't profiting you, but you've gotten in the habit of thinking a certain way to where your subconscious mind is programmed to think that way. And it all results from your root chakra, I believe this, your root chakra being blocked, operating in your lower nature. So once you unblock that root chakra, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, how semen retention will remove the blinders, mask off, like that song by Future years back, mask off. Retain your seed, take that mask off, look in the mirror and see yourself for who you are. You know what I mean? And so semen retention is the first step, because by practicing this, all right, you're actually stripping away all the junk and the gunk that has tried to cling to you over the years because of your traumas, people who have done you dirty, or we're constantly bombarded on a daily basis with other people's opinions, and technology is a very, very useful thing. It could be used for good or for evil. However, it's easier nowadays to brainwash people, to program people, than it has ever been. And that's why we have to use the spirit of discernment, because there's good information out there. There's advice that we should adhere to. But then there's also information out there, there's opinions out there that's destructive. All right? So without going way out in the left field, by practicing semen retention, by unblocking your chakras and raising your vibration, operating in a higher frequency, you can dominate and beat that bully called OCD with DMT and be high on life. You could be in a flow state. You don't have to be rigid with yourself. You don't have to unnecessarily stress yourself with trying to be perfect. Because newsflash, nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. We live in an imperfect world. We live in a fallen world, okay? And that's just the truth. So for me personally, my mindset is, rather than trying to be perfect, I accept myself for who I am. And if anything, I'm going to try to be anti-fragile. Anti-fragile. Strong as steel. So DMT will help you to take on healthier habits, practices, if you will. And they say it takes 21 days to create a habit or whatever. I think 21 days to break a habit. So the point I'm trying to make in this video is, by unblocking these chakras, as I said, raising your vibration, operating in a higher frequency, raising your standards, higher standards, choosing the high road, man, you can live the high life. You can have that natural high. You could be high on life while everybody else is wasting their money on substances, trying to obtain what you got naturally just by retaining your seed, your life force, allowing that sexual energy to circulate all throughout your body. And you could use DMT to your advantage, where OCD, the deception is you think it's to your advantage. These compulsions, if I don't do this, everything's going to come unraveled. But really what that's doing is it's holding you back. So choose today DMT over OCD. Any habit or practice that is not serving you, that is not profiting you, that is not propelling you towards your goals, towards your dreams, has got to go. Let 2022 be the year that you let go of anything that's not serving you, anything that's holding you back, whether it be a person, whether it be a thought process. If you have to reprogram your subconscious mind, you can do that. It takes work, but you can reprogram your subconscious mind. Whatever it may be, if you have an addiction in your life that you're fighting, don't lose heart. Don't be discouraged. One day at a time, okay? I recommend getting on this semen retention journey, because I believe the discipline that it requires to overcome your sexual urges, which is the most powerful urge that as a man you're going to have to overcome. If you can keep that in check, you could do anything. self-control is a virtue. The Bible says it's one of the fruits of the Spirit. So view yourself as a tree. Stand strong, stand firm, and bear fruit. So when you interact with other people, people come to you, they may partake. If you're bearing fruit, you're on your purpose. You know what I mean? Whereas if what you're producing is stress, anxiety, and you're overly compulsive and people can't partake from you, you can't even partake from that. You'll be withered. So I'm going to end this video with choose DMT over OCD. Again, we can naturally produce DMT. There's even breathing exercises to unlock it. Me personally, I choose to, be on this Nofap journey, sexual alchemy, build up my sexual energy, transmute it through my passions, and creating new habits in my life, new practices, and living my best life, man. Because on the semen retention / Nofap journey, you're on the road to becoming the best version of yourself. It's not about trying to be somebody else. It's about finding yourself. And it's about finding out why you're here on this earth and fulfilling that God-given purpose. So to all my light bearers out there, get rid of any habits that are not serving you. Don't stress yourself out unnecessarily, okay? You're never going to be perfect, but you could be anti-fragile. You could be strong as steel, unshaken. And so if this video has helped you out in any way, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to this channel, drop a comment in the comment section. Let's break bread. Iron sharpens iron, man. Stay strong out there, guys. It's your boy Lone Star, signing out for now. Peace.